and welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here then hello and welcome. My name's Alexis and I post 4 videos a week on a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday and Sunday at 7 AM. So if you love a variety channel like this one and you want to see more, then please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And now I'm going to share with you my deep kitchen clean part 3. As I just mentioned, today I'm going to be deep cleaning this part of the kitchen. So in 2 previous videos I cleaned around this side of the kitchen. So today I'm going to be cleaning here, and I'm going to be cleaning inside and outside of the cupboards, and I'm also going to be cleaning the wall as well. In the previous 2 videos I cleaned the walls around there and they look really good still, so I thought I'd try and clean this part of the kitchen wall today. This part does get quite messy. There is no backboard, I want to say, here to help protect the wall or anything, so when we wash up all the stuff goes up the wall, and it's looking pretty filthy, so I really want to give that a really good scrub today. And I also want to clean the inside of the cupboards as well. They don't really need reorganising, but they do need a very good clean. I haven't done it for a while, I have to be honest, so I thought I'd do that today. And of course, while I was doing that, I thought I'd share what I was doing with you. So here is my deep kitchen clean part 3. To start the process, I decided to clean the area below the cupboards. This meant it would give me more space once I started to clean the cupboards. So I took everything from this area, and once everything was clear here, I then started to clean the kitchen cupboards. So I started on the far right, and I just get my method spray, and I'm just going to clean the outside of that cupboard door up there. So that cupboard is not actually a cupboard, that's like a stick-on part. It's like a pretend door basically. It doesn't actually lead anywhere, so it's just a feature of the kitchen. So I decided to give that a clean first, and then once that's cleaned, I then moved on to cleaning the inside of the cupboards. So I took all of the items out and I gave the cupboard a clean. During this process I decided to remove the glass from this cupboard. So there's a glass shelf in here, and I decided to take that out and put it in the sink, and I cleaned that later. But yeah, as you can see, I just sprayed the cupboard with my method spray, and then I just gave it a wipe down, and while it was drying on the inside I cleaned the glass. So I just cleaned that with a bit of method spray, and I wiped that down with a tea towel, and then once that was done I put that back, and then I started to put everything back into the cupboard. Were back inside the cupboard, I then gave the cupboard door a clean. So I used a bit of method spray and I just wiped it down, and then I gave the glass a clean as well, and I cleaned that with a tea towel as well to get rid of any smears or smudges. And then I move on to cleaning this cupboard above the sink. So in this cupboard above the sink we tend to keep our chemicals. When Ted was little, he would open cupboards and pull everything out, so I didn't want him like pulling stuff out and eating or drinking the chemicals in the cupboard. So I decided to put them up high, and they seem to have stayed here. It works quite well for us, we don't mind them being up here, so that's where they've stayed. So yeah, as you can see, again I just took everything out of the cupboards, and then once everything was out I then gave it a clean with my method spray, and then I wiped it dry, and then I just put everything back into the cupboard again. to cleaning the the last cupboard in this row. So in this cupboard we generally tend to keep glasses and bits and pieces we don't use that often. So there are vases in here, nice glasses and some bowls as well that I use occasionally but not very often. So I thought I'd store them in here. As you can see, I did try to get this piece of glass out, but unfortunately it wouldn't come out. So I just cleaned the glass while it was in the cupboard, and I cleaned around the cupboard as well. Again, I used my method spray to clean inside this cupboard, and then I dried it again with a tea towel. And then once the cupboard was dry, I then put all of the items back. Once I'd finished cleaning the door of the third and final cupboard up the top, I then move on to cleaning out this pantry. This is our small pantry, and we generally tend to store teas and coffees in here, cereal, any items that we just sort of need to grab but don't really have a place. There's also bags, spare bags that are half empty that I like to store in here as well. So once I'd removed all of the items, I then decided to give the inside of this cupboard a hoover. There were quite a few crumbs in here from items that had spilled out, so I thought I'd just hoover it up. And then again, I used my method spray and I just cleaned the inside of this cupboard. And I also cleaned the doors as well. And I'm going to clean the skirting board at the bottom as well, because that was quite filthy, I have to say. I think a lot of food gets spilled over the side of these doors and ends up on the floor. I don't know how it happens, but it happens. And I just really need to give this cupboard and the door and the skirting board a really good clean. So I just gave it all a good scrub. And then once I'd scrubbed all of it clean and it was looking really shiny and lovely again, I then went back to drying the inside of the cupboard. So again, I used my tea towel and I just dry off the shelves and the inside of the cupboard and the doors as well. And then once I'd finished drying the cupboard, I then start to move all of the items back into the cupboard. There were a few things that I did get rid of from this cupboard as well though, and there were some out-of-date foods, and I did try to organise it neatly so that we'd be able to find things. Generally we tend to throw stuff into this cupboard and then we never find stuff and it always gets lost at the back. So I tried to organise it as neatly as I could so that we'd be able to find stuff a little bit easier. Back in the pantry, I then move on to cleaning the kitchen walls, and to start the process I'm making a paste, and I'm making it with soda crystals, a little bit of vinegar and a little bit of essential oil and some water as well, and I'm going to mix this into a paste and I'm going to scrub this on our walls. I found this paste really effective. It's been a really good cleaner to use on the walls. It did eventually get all the stains off. It did take a lot of scrubbing however, but most of the stains are now off from the walls, and the walls are looking really clean. I have used this paste in 2 other videos, but it's taken me until about this video to get the paste actually right. So I used 2 cups of soda crystals and then a half a cup, I'd say, of vinegar, and then half a cup of water, and then just some drops of lemon essential oil, and that made a perfect paste. You might find it to be different, but I found that to be the best paste to use. I will link that recipe in the description box below for you as well. So yes, as I said, I made it into a paste, and then I put it onto the cloth that I was using to clean the cupboards, and I just basically scrubbed the walls with it. There was a lot of elbow grease involved. I have to say these walls were quite glossy, but yes, once I got going, the walls started to look really clean. Once I'd finished cleaning the walls with the homemade solution and the cloth, I then gave them a dry with the tea towel I was using to clean the cupboards. I also gave underneath the cupboards a quick clean as well. Food and water and all sorts of other stuff generally tends to get stuck underneath the cupboards, so I thought it'd be a good idea to give under the cupboards a clean while I was cleaning the walls. I'd finished drying the walls and I was satisfied that they were clean enough, I then moved on to cleaning the kitchen sink and around the kitchen sink as well. So for this I used the rest of the soda crystals that I had been using to clean the walls with, and this worked really well on this sink. This sink does get quite grotty, it's white so it does really show all the stains, so I was really pleased with the soda crystal and vinegar solution. It worked really well on the sink and made it look very sparkly and clean. And then I moved on to cleaning the sideboard area. I had to move quickly here as well because I realised that the granite work surface doesn't really like vinegar. It doesn't like anything too acidic on it, so I tried to get the soda crystal and vinegar solution off as quick as possible. And then I'm using a liquid soap that I bought from Wilkinson's. I've used this in a previous video and this seems to work really well on the sideboard. It's a vegan soap. It says it's all natural, so I trust what it says on the packet, but yes, it just does a really good job at cleaning these granite work surfaces. And once I cleaned them, I then just simply gave them a dry. And once they were dry, I then moved all of the items that I had taken from here and I put them back again. Once I'd finished those jobs, I then moved on to cleaning the under sink cupboard. So in the under sink cupboard, we generally tend to store cloths and bin liners. This cupboard just needed a quick wipe down, so I got my method spray and I just gave it a spray, and then I cleaned it with the same cloth I've been cleaning the whole kitchen with. And once I'd done that, I then decided to sit and have a reorganise of the baskets. The baskets were a bit messy, so I decided to tidy the cloths up, and I also decided to tidy the bin liners up. But when I was putting the baskets back, I realised that they didn't fit too well, so I actually removed one of the baskets, and we only have 2 baskets in this under the sink cupboard now, which works a lot better for us, I have to say. It was a bit of a tight squeeze with 3 baskets, and I might have a new method for that, so yes. But once I'd done that, I decided to give the sink another quick clean because I still had some of the vinegar and soda crystal solution left, and it seemed to work really well the first time, and it did again the second, and the sink looks really shiny now, and the whole kitchen looks brilliant and very clean, so I'm really pleased. So really pleased with the finished results. I have cleaned everywhere, and everywhere is looking really clean and tidy. My husband has taken a water bottle, so that's why there's one missing there. But the inside of these cupboards are clean. I did have a slight reorganise here, but nothing too major. Just reorganised it so we could find bottles and cups and glasses a bit better, and I put the straws into the plastic cups that we don't use that often. So yeah, so that's that cupboard. And then I've rearranged this cupboard slightly, and I went upstairs and got some more Method that we store up there, and some finished tablets as well that we bought from Costco recently that we've been storing upstairs as well. So I brought those down and put them in the cupboard. And then as you can see, I'll show you the pantry. Pantry looks brilliant now. I'm really pleased with that pantry. It was really messy in there. It wasn't like untidy, but there was lots of spills and stuff. I think what happens is things spill off here and they go into the cupboard and we don't see them until later on. So it does get pretty grossy in here, but it's now clean again, so I'm really pleased with that. And I also cleaned the walls as well, as you saw. There are a few marks on here that I can't quite get off, but most of it did come off. When I first started cleaning here, I was quite worried that it wouldn't, but it has come off now, so I'm really pleased. And under here is all clean as well. And I also cleaned under the cabinets as well. And I cleaned in here. I've just noticed a dirty mark on there. I'll have to get that in a minute. But yes, I have cleaned in here as well, and this is looking really clean. I did have a little reorganise of this as well. I don't really know how I've reorganised it, but I have. So yeah, it's looking really clean. And then I also cleaned under the sink as well. And I've discovered that the white baskets we use for snacks in one of our pantry cupboards will actually, 2 of them will actually fit under here a lot better than these baskets will. So I'm going to get 2 more of those and put them under here. But yes, everything's clean and tidy under the sink. And then this drawer, you might be wondering, well, Howard deals with this drawer. This is a blue job. Howard does the rubbish in our house. You might be shocked to hear that. But yes, so Howard deals with that drawer. So I'm going to leave that to Howard, but everything else is really clean and tidy, and as I have repeated myself so many times, I am really pleased with the finished results. That's the deep kitchen clean part 3 done, and I'm really pleased, as I said, with the finished results. It's all looking really clean and tidy, and I'm actually looking forward to washing up tonight. So strange as it may sound, but I'm actually looking forward to cleaning here again. So yes, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and please feel free to leave any comments below. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you all soon. Bye.